Welcome back, everybody. This is Son Alexander for part 12 of the Sith Acolyte mask helm tutorial from the Old Republic, and I am so freaking excited. I'm finally back to the spot I was at with my original mask. Looks terrible in comparison, but I am now up to the detail part, and believe me, I have been waiting for this moment. So, before we get started, I'd like to say that the most exciting factor is I don't have to wear that stupid mask anymore. Oh man, I am so tired of wearing that face mask. It creates red marks and all sorts of stuff. Sounds funny over the on the videos. I'm just tired of it. Alright, now that I'm done with that fiasco, second part is no more sanding. Alright, that took 5 days of monotonous sanding and detailing to get it to this point. And let me tell you, it's been worth it though. I'm really excited about it. First thing though, aside from the nonsense, is you'll see marks that I've drawn on the mask. This is just rough estimation of my lines. So for the detailing, I'm going to be using cardstock and doing 3D raised details. But realistically, this is up to you folks. You can stop at this point and just paint it silver, and if you want, you can paint on your details. You don't have to go as extreme as I'm about to do. Now that you've got them, this is basically it. This is a constructed mask. This is what you need to do for any other mask. You can stop here if you want to. I don't recommend it. I say that if you've spent as much time as I have making this thing, you should go all the way. And with that being said, I'm going to go right into the tutorial here with what I'm about to do, and I'm going to be using the same techniques that somebody I've been speaking with over Facebook, and he's the one that made this original mask, but I've kind of changed and tweaked his design a bit, but I'm going to be doing the same 3D raised details that he did, mainly because, for one, I really like the details that he did, and two, it's the closest to the mask I wanted to make from the Old Republic trailers, which is the ones with the very small details, very intricate on the sides of the mask and things like that. So his name, his username is always found in the comments of my videos, and I will give him a proper shout out when I do the finale video. I just don't want to butcher his username until it's like right in front of me. So that being said, you know who you are. Thank you very much for all the help you've given me and all the tutorials you've written on the RPF. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first thing, you're going to need quite a bit of stuff. If you're already a model maker, prop maker, and a cosplayer or a costumer, you're probably going to have some of this stuff, or even if you just work in your garage a lot, you'll probably have some of this stuff already. But if you don't, you're going to need some of these things. One, Dremel with the detailing attachment. It's a very small ball with a drill bit on it. Comes with it if you buy this one specifically. Little hand drill. Second thing, hot glue. The cosplayer's best friend. You're not going to be able to get away with it pretty much any costume without hot glue at some point. Third, heat gun. This is a Wagner. It's like 20 bucks in the paint section of your local superstore. These things get really, really hot, way hotter than a blow dryer. I think this one said on the box something like 1200 degrees, and let me tell you, it does. It will peel paint right off the wall. It'll burn your fingers if you hold it too quickly. It's also really, or too close to the nozzle. But it's also really good for shaping foam, and one of the key components we're going to need for our mask detail. The next thing is you're going to need some of your fiberglass resin, very light amount of it. I'll have to use the darn face mask again when I get to that point, but that'll probably be the next video. The other thing you're going to need, a couple more things, materials. Cardstock. You can go a little thicker than this if you want to. It all depends on how much you want to tire your hands out cutting it. Razor with a lot of blades. You do go through them quite a bit. Pencil and marker, as you saw with the lines, you need that. And then one very key component, which I found a substitute for if you can't find it. I got lucky today. I've called over 15 stores in my area, and not a single one of them had what I needed. And this is something that most cosplayers and armor builders swear upon, and it is called Sintra, S-I-N-T-R-A, Sintra. That's a brand name of the specific stuff, and it's this. Think of the PVC piping that you bought, that you buy or your parents buy or whoever buy in the hardware store for plumbing. It's just those white pipes that you get for like 50 cents a foot, but it's pressed out into sheets, and it comes in various sheets or various widths and details and depths and things like that. This one, the guy that I purchased this from said it was 10 millimeters. I'm not sure if that's the case. I haven't actually measured it or not. I think it's thinner than that. But the cool thing is this is just essentially sheeted plastic. You can just cut it by scarring it with a razor and snapping it if you need to. But with the detail that we're going to be using, I ended up cutting it all the way through. It just takes multiple strokes to get through the thing. And then there's, as you can see, a small detail piece that I cut out of here. That's the reason you need the heat gun, is because we shape it by turning it on low or high, however long you want to do it, and heating it up and bending it. And the really cool thing about this, and this is why I see why a lot of people use this, is it's very, very heat resistant. It doesn't burn as long as you're not just, like this over it for too long. It will warp if you do that. Make sure when you do heat it, you're going in a back and forth motion just to get it heated. The really cool thing that I found is you can heat this stuff a lot, to the point of it being squishy. And all you have to do is take your mask once you get that formed and bend it and press it and hold it. And then do it again. And like you see here, it's shaped. And it'll stay. I'm just going to hot glue it on, and then from there I'll probably do some resin around it to seal in the cracks that you see from the edges. But I'm very happy with this find. Now, this stuff is really expensive online. I've looked all over the place, and if you Google Sintra sheets, S-I-N-T-R-A sheets, the first thing that'll pop up will be the foam board distributors or something like that. They sell various thicknesses, and they sell them in sheets, and it's about $35 for 5 sheets. I think they're 8.5 by 11 sheets, something like that. But that's really, really expensive. The folks that I purchased this from gave me an incredible deal because it was basically scrap. I recommend, if you're in your area, look for plastic companies or sign companies. That's where I found this stuff, was a sign company. I called a couple sign places. They didn't have any, but the last place that I checked did, and was really cool about selling me the scrap. Gave me a great deal on it because it was basically throwaway. Pick some up. You're going to need it if you can. If not, I made this last night, and I posted on Facebook that I was attempting this, and I've done it before and it works really well. This is just standard EVA foam that you find in a craft store that you make armor out of, but the one difference is I fiberglass it. I put the resin on it, and as you can see, it's totally malleable. It bends, It doesn't crack. It stays its shape. So if need be, you could take this and form it to how you need and glue it on. And I really considered doing this before I found this this plastic stuff. The plastic stuff I would recommend using over this, because it only comes in two thicknesses, 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch in the sheets at your craft stores, and I think 1/4 inch is a little too thick. The thickness that I have here, if you can see the difference there. This is way thicker. So use this in a pinch if you can't find anything else, or if you just don't want to spend the money on the EVA foam. It really, really is expensive. And that's about it that you need. The marker that I have is for the lines that I've markered out on the Sintra is going to be an etched detail that I'm going to scribe in with my Dremel. Same deal with this little piece that I've also cut out. I also heated this and pressed it against the nose plate where it's going to sit. Once I have that glued on though, since it's such a tiny piece, then I'll etch it. It's probably a bad idea to do that. I don't want to mess it up when I'm this close. But these two pieces, these raised pieces, are on every helmet that I've seen for the Old Republic mask. And then these pieces are just cut out of cardstock. You can do them out of very thin Sintra if you want to spend the money on that. And I may actually go back and purchase that, who knows. But for now I'm just doing it out of cardstock. And this is just kind of a rough show and tell here. But that's where those are going to go. These two pieces plus the nose and the forehead piece, I would say that after you do those, the sky's the limit on what you want to do. There's numerous details that you can do. These masks are meant to be an expression of the Sith warrior or acolyte that's wearing them. So it's kind of like Marines and armor in Aliens, where they put all the decals and stuff on it. That's what this is for you. Don't think that because I'm doing this tutorial that, oh, you have to do it this way, or because you saw it on a forum post, or because you saw it in the Old Republic trailer that you have to do that. You don't. I'm doing it that way because I like that design. And mainly I like that design because of another technique I'm going to show during painting. It's something I learned while I painted miniatures. It's inking. And I picked up a vial of ink at the craft store. I think it was like $5, black ink. And I'm going to be doing the 3D raised detail, and then I'm going to water down my ink, and I'm going to ink the whole mask to give it a bolt gun look, as well as allowing all the cracks and crevices with the 3D raised detail to absorb that ink and let it pool into the cracks to give it a lot more pop when I'm finished. So, but that'll be more in a later video. Not much else I can say about this tutorial. It's just going to be a lot of tedious work for me, and I just wanted to show you the tools you're going to need, the ingredients to make this better, and just kind of give you a couple extra pointers that I've seen. The reason why you have these lines drawn out is because these are off-limit spaces. At least, I should say, just the curvature lines here. These are just to show the line, the stopping point for the this section here. These lines are going to be carved out for speaking, and I would say that no details go on this point aside from those two cardstock pieces that show just as their own raised detail. But these curved sections here, these lined curved sections, whenever you have a detail that would overlap it, cut it in half and put one on one side and one on the other. Completely separate this line. Main reason is because that's going to give your mask a clear-cut, definable edge. And if you were overlapping them, then it wouldn't look as good. And I've seen pictures of the gentleman I was talking to you about earlier, and his mask looks spectacular. And I'm going for that same effect, because this is really a tribute to his work as well as my own, to see if I can, pull it off. So I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else that you're going to need aside from a lot of time, a lot of patience, and a lot of hot glue and materials to get all this done. Look online, Google designs. See if there's anything floating around the house that you like. There's all sorts of patterns to be found everywhere. Even cobblestone, looking out as you're walking around in the park and you look down and see cobblestone, the way the cracks and everything like that work. Anything can be a detail for this mask. This is now your canvas. Decorate it how you want to. That's what this is about. Painting is going to be simple spray paint, and the colors can be what you want it to be. The videos show silver, things of that nature. I'm going to stick with the traditional stuff. It's up to you guys. Make this your canvas. Be creative. It's the point of this stuff, to make it fun. Other than that, I got nothing else for you right now. I'm going to get to cutting and drilling, and hopefully I don't destroy my mask that I've worked so hard for. This has been Son Alexander. Stay tuned for the next part. Thank you very much for watching.